I genuinely hate flies. And I mean this with absolute seriousness. Flies are just mundane. Like, what is your purpose? And I think I dislike them because you never self-analyze. Flies genuinely never self-analyze. They never sit there and question what's their purpose. Every time I look at a fly, the fly is just buzzing around. I think their number one purpose is to genuinely bother other humans, just bothering humans, just flying around, just buzzing. What is a fly's purpose? It never questions itself. Why don't a fly question its own existence? Why do I have wings? Okay, maybe I'm perhaps meant to fly and procreate, but am I also put here just to bother humans? Like what is flies don't think. Like, what are you doing? Just rubbing your hands together, spitting on your hands. What is flies doing? It just don't make sense to me. It angers me. Because why do you constantly fly around the earth and still don't know your purpose? Just buzzing here, buzzing there, and still don't know your purpose. Flies need to genuinely learn how to self-analyze. I want all of the flies in the world to sit in one big conglomerate so I can give them a big palm strike and smack. And I can smash all the flies with my bare hands. Because that's what I do with every fly that comes by. I don't like being bothered. I'm working. I don't want to be bothered. I'm working. As soon as I'm working, I'm in a flow state. I'm flowing never harder than ever before. I'm either coming up with the most melodical flows as I'm speaking or melodical flows as I'm making music. And then here comes little old fly. Zzz, zzz. I'll just smash him with a precise palm strike. And I do that very, very precisely and concisely because I don't like being bothered. Sometimes I just want to sit here and work. I can't be the only one. Sometimes you just want to sit in your room, be unbothered, not have to hear any constant noise. The environment is already chaotic and the flies is flying around the room. And now the fly is so dumb that you would come in here and bother me when I don't want to be bothered. So now I have to crush you with an exact palm strike from the 7 styles of Preem. So flies are mundane. Gnats also are mundane. And I want gnats to start to question themselves too. Because gnats, they just swarm around. They fly and they land on the thing and then they come by and they bite your skin and they making you itch. Gnats are probably worse than flies. Actually, now that I truly think about it, even though I hate both, I hate a fly and I hate a gnat, I'm gonna crush them both and I crush them both every time with exactitude, with a mathematical sequence. So I started to question reality. Why have these things been put here without a brain? They can't even self-reason and self-analyze and sit and say, okay, why am I bothering this human? Why am I bothering this human instead of going about my purpose? Why do I want to bother this human knowing this human don't want to be bothered instead of me just flying around and reprocreating? But then even that starts to get very, very sticky. Why is a fly and a gnat procreating? What do they even do? Somebody tell me. I know I can do my own research on this, but if somebody have another insight, currently, maybe I should just look it up as right now. What does flies do? This is the first time I've ever done a live research on the Preem show. Because what is a fly? What are the benefits of flies? I'm gonna type that in. What are the benefits of flies? Because I'm very, very serious. I know I'm smiling, but I'm very, very serious. I hate flies because what are their benefits? Do they help us in any way? Nature's cleaning up crew by decomposing waste, pollinate numerous plants, and serve as essential food sources for birds. Oh, so they're just they're just scum. They get ate. So flies are here just to get ate by birds, fish, and amphibians. So on the other hand, the flies exist just to get ate. And it kind of reminds me of the world, how the slaves exist just to keep slaving away just for the king or just for society to function. It kind of reminds me that way. And it kind of reminds me that in the jungle, the lions always eat the smaller food sources. The lion's one of the big, in the food chain. So they always eat the smaller food sources. So it's kind of how life is. If you're not strong or if you're not competitive, then you just get ate by the birds, fish, and amphibians and the lions. So it's kind of like you have to learn about your purpose. That's how it kind of is. It's kind of how you have to be less like the fly and sit and actually think. Flies don't think. They just buzz around, which is why I smack them out the air every time. Flies don't think. So don't live your life like a fly. Flies don't think, so you need to move in a certain way and start to walk through the earth with purpose. Flies don't have a purpose. Their purpose is just to exist, just to get ate. You don't want to exist just to get ate. And I think worms are the same way. Worms have no real true, it don't even have a gender. Worms don't even have a gender. They're both. So it's like, don't be like the fly. Flies are just annoying. And I kind of dislike flies and I hate flies with an absolute disdain. And there's a bunch of things that I'm going to get on here and talk about that I dislike. I know I'm not the only person that dislike flies. They're just annoying. It's just annoying. What else do you want? You want to bite of my food. You want to land on my food. You spitting on your hands. First, you didn't even wash your hands. The flies don't even wash their hands before they land on your food. Why are you doing this? Where's your manners? This is what I question and look at flies. Flies, where are your manners? You didn't even wash your hands. You spit on your hands and then you came and landed on my food. You didn't ask for permission for a bite. The flies should have came around, buzzed. Maybe that's why they come and buzz around your head so they can ask you, can I have a bite of your food? And maybe they just look at your subconscious cues and say, okay, his subconscious cues. I analyze the subconscious cues because, flies have like millions of eyes, I think. And I think flies analyze humans' subconscious cues. And then they decide. So I think that's what's happening. And I think that they deserve to be crushed because they're going to be crushed and ate anyways. So you might as well crush the flies as soon as it comes by. Why not? You're going to let it keep spitting and eating on your food? No, get out of here. I'm going to crush you. Palm strike. Out. I want to work in peace and I want to eat my food in peace. I don't want to be bothered by a fly. I don't want to hear your buzzing. I don't want to hear your buzzing. You should have knocked on my door actually before you came in. Who let you in my room? Who let the flies in my room? How did you get in here? Who let you through the front door? Did you knock? Did you knock through the front door or you just came in and barged in? See, flies need to start to question. They need a certain amount of self-respect of asking people things before they just do things. You need a certain level of self-respect. You're walking through earth or when you're trying to outperform the flies, you need a certain level of mannerisms and self-respect. If you have self-respect, you respect other people. You can't just be walking through the earth disrespecting people, taking things from people. You need to walk through the earth with a certain level of respect. And I think that's something flies don't have. And I need to teach the flies a lesson. So I squash flies every single time just to teach the flies of a lesson. You should have knocked before you came in my room. So I tell the flies. But in all seriousness, self-respect. If you self-respect yourself, you won't walk through the earth like a fly. If you have enough self-respect, you'll start to self-analyze and see where you're going wrong. Flies go wrong in many ways, but they never self-reflect. This is why they just keep getting crushed. This is why they keep getting ate by the birds and the fish. Flies, I just researched, flies deliberately exist to get ate by birds and fish. So they exist just to get ate. You don't want to live that way. So you need to self-analyze and say, how can I live in a way where how can I live in a way where I do not exist just to get ate. We're going to end it right here. Thank you for watching. That was my quick rant on flies. And again, as I said, as I continue to start telling the truth, I'm escaping some people from the Matrix into Zion. And in case of my deletion, join the 2 links in the description. They will always be there, but join it just in case of my deletion so we can always stick together. We can always have further communication because the world is starting to become so digitized where we need more social connection now than ever before, because if we lack social connection, how can we stay together as a conglomerate and even try and help people find their purpose and stop wandering the earth like flies just to exist to get ate? So if you truly understand this message, you know where to find me. 2 links in the description. And thank you for watching this video if you watched it.